Hey again. Thank you guys for sticking with me throughout this series. I hope I've given you some really strong content on the transformation we're going to have together. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, this is my third video in this launch series. We have explored the research on how flour and sugar are detrimental to permanent weight loss by causing our brains to constantly crave it. We've also discussed how to stay motivated by using alternative measurements like mental clarity and body fat to stay on course instead of, the scale all the time, because let's face it, sometimes it's cranky. So that can really help a lot. And then if you want to get more, check out the 2 previous videos to get more in-depth explanations. So let's get right into it. This is my last video and it's a big one. It's all on how to actually lose weight and how to stay in the body of your dreams. I should know because I've done it, and I'm maintaining a right-sized body without constantly fighting cravings. Because quite frankly, before all of this, when I imagined in my mind being in my right-sized body, I imagined that I was going to somehow still be craving those foods that I knew were problems for me. And it's amazing because that's not my reality. And I'm so thankful for that. So here it goes. Again, how to lose the weight and keep it off. 3 things. When you really boil it down to, it's just 3 things. The first one is inner narrative. The second one is the food. And the third is exercise. All right, so number 1. Some of you are going, inner what? Yeah. But I want you to think about it this way. Think about who talks to you the most. Who has the most sway over your daily micro decisions? You do. You're constantly in your head, right? And so doesn't it follow that if you're telling yourself negative, hurtful things, that's what you'll believe. You'll believe that. I can't lose weight. I just can't do it. I've tried everything. That's the one that I think is killer for a lot of people. So I want you to ask yourself a couple of questions. What is my mental landscape surrounding fitness? Is it currently negative about my body? Am I burned from previous programs that didn't work or didn't last? Am I being driven by fear? Am I afraid of actually losing weight? Because that is actually a reality for some people who are kind of hiding behind that for different reasons. Or am I afraid of trying yet another program that doesn't work? That's another huge thing that can kind of really trip people up. And so I know that some objections that people might raise is about eliminating sugar and flour, saying that that's too extreme. And I hear you. I hear you. But maybe I just want you to, again, in your head, ask yourself, like, maybe, is it the reason why all the previous experiences didn't last? Maybe it could be just the thing that can finally give you that freedom to pursue those fitness goals you've always had and just are kind of starting to give up on. And so I encourage you to try a new narrative that says, I can do hard things, or I am worthy of feeling comfortable in my own skin. Now, this doesn't mean you have to be like the culture's idea of skinny by any means, but it's about finding where your body does all the things you want it to do. I have mentored a lot of women in this area, especially this area. And it has been so clear to me that this is one of the biggest unspoken factors in achieving your fitness goals. People don't talk about it very much at all. So even if you just take this little nugget, like just take this away from my entire series, it's this. If you can change your mental landscape to a place of surrender to the process of doing hard things to reach your goals, the rest is relatively simple. Just follow the plan. So that's what I mean by inner narrative. And this is another one of those things that later on in other vlogs I will definitely hit again. Let's move on. So the second thing, food. The current data shows that weight loss hinges 80% on what you put in your mouth and 20% physical activity. Whoa, that's a lot. And then on top of that, a diet that caters to personal goals and preferences can speed up results exponentially. My husband, who's a personal trainer as well, and I have tailored our own meal plans and have experienced this firsthand. And we'll splice in some before and after photos right here so that you can see it. Now, as most of you know, I adore working out. So if any of you know me or have been watching previous videos, I love working out. That's my jam. I've tried to lose weight with just exercise, and it was like swimming upstream. I kept hoping that my muscles would show through, but with my body fat so high, it was blocking any noticeable progress. And again, that was super defeating. And often I felt like I was losing hope. Another thing that happened for me is that, you know, no one could tell that underneath it all, I was an athlete. I've hiked the Appalachian Trail with my husband while being overweight. I've trained in the gym for countless hours and have discovered a passion for weightlifting. But before I got the nutrition right, no one could tell I'd done any of that. So now, here's the deal. I know that people's opinion isn't everything, but for my own self, I dearly wanted my body to match how athletic I was on the inside. So once I got my personalized diet right, I weighed my food to make sure I got the portions correct and only ate at meal times. That was when the magic happened. And the weight came off and the food craziness quieted. And when I say food craziness, I mean the constant suggestion of eating off of my plan or binging, which had been my struggle before the meal plan. So now we're going to take a second and we're going to have Todd, my husband, come on and talk about his great success with this program.
Hey, I'm Todd. I'm here just wanted to hop on and give you a little bit of my background and history. So I have a 4-year degree from Liberty in exercise science. I've also worked under physical therapists for over 1.5 years and learned from them, as well as taking some extra training online through the Medical Exercise Training Institute. So my specialties lie in injury prevention and injury recovery. Now, back to my story. So in June, when Laura came to me with another weight loss program, I was a little skeptical because I had gone vegan back with her when we got married 7 years ago. And since then, I've been vegan and vegetarian on and off, but I've also seen my weight yo-yo up and down. Up 10 pounds, down 10 pounds. As I noticed it get too high, I would cut back. But I kept finding myself always eating more than I needed and going back up. And so more recently in June, I had found myself 15 pounds over what I usually am. And I was at over 15% body fat. And so when I started eating this program with her in June, I was astounded that I lost over 11 pounds in the first month. And I continued to steadily lose weight until I reached my weight loss goal of 5% body fat. And not only that, I've maintained it. Since then, it's been over 3 months, and I've been that same weight week in and week out. And it is great. I can actually see that I'm gaining muscle. My percent body fat is still at 5%, but I'm slowly gaining some weight. And so I know that's muscle, and it's awesome. And not only this, I lost that 11 pounds when I wasn't even working out. We were traveling across the country in our trailer, and I was sitting most of the time driving in between places where we could walk and maybe hike some. But one of the biggest things I've noticed is that previously my portion control was way out of control. I was always finding myself eating an extra slice of pizza here, rewarding myself for exercising there, eating some extra ice cream at the end of the day, and I always seemed to have M&Ms or chocolate after every meal. And I was addicted to the sugar. I couldn't go without it, or I thought so, until Laura helped me start this program. And once I stopped eating that sugar, the cravings have gone away. It took a little bit, but it has been great not to have to be searching for that chocolate and be looking for the next little fix, you know? So for you guys out there that are looking to slim down and bulk up, this is going to be great for you, because not only did I get down to 5% body fat, but as I started to lift weights, I could see it immediately. Like, definition in my muscles was noticeable within just a couple weeks of starting to lift again. And it's so great to have the feeling of seeing your work pay off right away. And so keep watching, and I'll hand it off to my better half.
So if you've got the first two ingredients, inner narrative and nutrition, on lockdown, the last part is, in my opinion, the most fun: exercise. Wouldn't it be incredible to be able to tailor your own body to look however you want? That's exactly what you can do when you incorporate a personalized meal plan and a workout plan. The combination marries fat loss and muscle gain, and it is a force to be reckoned with. It's very powerful. We have been able to incorporate my experience and training with fitness and weight loss, along with Todd's expertise in exercise science, to create an online personal training program. So normally it's incredibly expensive to have a personal trainer and hire a nutritionist. I always dreamed of having one, but it was way too pricey and my schedule would have never worked for that. But the app that we have purchased for our clients has made it so that we can tailor our program without the scheduling hassle and the high price point of in-person sessions. What's also fantastic about the app is that for the women who are watching and are wanting to really get into this, sometimes it can be intimidating when you're first walking into the weightlifting room, because we feel pretty comfortable with the cardio room. Like, we're cool with the cardio room, but when we walk into the weightlifting room, it's a little nerve-wracking because there's all these beefy men who are like dropping weights super loud, and you're like, am I supposed to be dropping weights super loud? So the app breaks down all the exercises you're supposed to do, and then when you click on the exercise, it plays a short clip for you on how to perform the exercise correctly, so that when you're in that room and those men are dropping those big weights, you're fine, because you know exactly what you're supposed to do so that you don't feel lost. So I know, because I have been there. I've been at that point. And it's not very fun. But this should really help with that problem that someone actually raised on the Facebook company page. So I wanted to make sure I addressed that question. Now, in tomorrow's video, we're going to have an offer for you. At that time, we're going to open cart, and it's going to be around 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we're going to be taking new registrations. Since we've had so much interest and it's our first launch, we will only be accepting new clients through Saturday at noon. So thank you guys so much for sticking with me all the way through this series, and all of the comments. Make sure to stay tuned tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can find us on lauratenpos.com and also our Facebook page. So we will also be sending out an email from Laura at lauratedposs.com. Thanks so much, guys.